Health insurance seems to be a pretty big topic of interest for you guys. Some of you think health insurance in Germany is free. It's not. Some of you think private health insurance is better than public health insurance. Maybe, but certainly not generally for everybody. And a lot of you expats seem to be insured with TK, which stands for Telfk insurance, of course. Excuse my speech impediment. And as soon as you want to leave Telfk insurance, they send you a mysterious number code that you should type in their search bar of their website. If you do, it leads you to a poorly animated video and a table that is comparing the public health insurance system with the private health insurance system. Let's see how objective and how much truth in the table really is, considering this big blue health insurance is a public health insurance that wants to keep you as their customer.
PerFinEx, Personal Finance for Expats.
What's up everyone, welcome to a new health insurance video from PerFinEx, the #1 English-speaking and independent financial planner in Germany. Today we are clearing myths around German health insurance again. Probably the most misunderstood topic in all of personal finance. That's why we published these two videos already, so you can make the decision that is right for you. Because I firmly believe that health is a human right and everybody should have the freedom to choose the health benefits they want to live their best life possible. But that was already discussed in the former two videos, so check them out if you want. Link are in the description. And just in case anyone associated with this big blue health insurance is watching, all companies and institutions in this video are entirely fictional. Any similarity with actual existing companies is purely coincidental and unintentional. Thank you very much. Please don't sue us now. You published the nonsense we're going to see on a public websites and lie to your customers. Don't blame me for it. Take responsibility for the stuff that you're publishing on your very own website. Let's skip the poorly animated video because it basically brings the same false arguments as the table does. The overview starts with an interesting article from an economic magazine from last year. The essence of this article is that it is debatable whether the public health insurance system or the private health insurance system is better for a regular person like you and me. Except for government employees. For them, the private health insurance is clearly the better choice. That's interesting, right? Because government employees create our laws. So why are they creating laws in a way that basically all of them are switching to the private health insurance system? About 85% of all government employees are insured in the private health insurance sector. They are the largest group of all privately insured people in Germany, as you can see here on the screen. So just in case a government employee is watching, why are you creating laws for the general population and then switch to the private health insurance system yourself? If public health insurance is so good, why are you not staying in the public health insurance sector yourself, Can anybody explain this to me? Anyway, let's continue with the table from the big blue health insurance that looks at 6 differences between the two German health insurance systems. Difference number 1 is something that is probably very important for you, the premium you have to pay. They're saying that in the public health insurance system, your premium is depending on your income, which is true. You have to pay about 15% of your income in public health insurance contributions, all details in our Payslip video. And if you earn above the threshold, which is 64,350 euros in 2021, your public health insurance premium is capped. Also true. What they somehow forgot to mention, they probably ran out of space in the table I imagine, is that this threshold increases every year. Here you can see how the monthly salary threshold increased over the past plus 20 years. In the private sector, the big blue health insurance is saying that your premium depends on your personal risk profile, which is generally true, but they get something severely wrong here. Health status is true. The healthier, the better. Age is also true. The younger, the better. Job is not true. Benefits is true. The higher the benefits, the higher the premium you have to pay. Deductible is also true. The higher your deductible, the lower your monthly premium because you're willing to take some of the risk. Exclusion of pre-existing conditions, horribly wrong. Rejection of your application is true again. Private health insurances are private companies. It's their right to say who they want to have as a customer. To all the stuff that is objectively wrong, like job and the exclusion of pre-existing conditions. Dear Big Blue Health Insurance, you have been mixing this up with the disability income insurance. Both of these are true for the disability income insurance. Both of these are wrong for health insurance. Next argument is coincidentally in case of disability and retirement. Big Blue Health Insurance says that you have to pay generally lower premiums in both cases. How can anybody make a statement like this? The answer is, of course, it depends. This is only true if you become disabled as a forced member of the public health insurance system, which anybody is who doesn't have the freedom to switch to the private sector if he so chooses. If you are a voluntary member of the public health insurance, so you could switch to the private health insurance sector, but you don't do it, and then you become disabled, you have to pay public health insurance contributions on your income. The world is much more difficult than just 2 lines in a table. And if you become disabled as a member of the private health insurance, you still have to pay your premium. That's true. That's why the disability income insurance is one of the 3 must-have insurances in Germany. For people in the public health insurance and people in the private health insurance. Now let's come to the retirement part. Of course, the Big Blue Health Insurance is not talking about the seniority savings of the private health insurance that will decrease your premium in retirement. But let's sum this up real quick. If you plan to be poor in retirement, if you're not saving anything, if you think the German public pension will pay you enough in retirement, then I generally question your life choices, but one thing's for sure, stay in the public health insurance system. It's as easy as that. If you want the better health benefits of the private health insurance, you need to plan ahead. Structure your financial future in a way that you will still make a decent living even in retirement when you lose your income from work. Buy some real estate and rent it out. Invest some of your money in ETFs and mutual funds. Get some additional pensions. There's a million different possibilities that you can do. And if you're wondering which the right way is for you, feel free to reach out and we'll help you find the best solution possible. Just don't plan on becoming poor in retirement. That's a horrible idea. Second comparison is that children and spouses might be insured for free in the public health insurance. That's true, and that's a big plus for the public health insurance sector. Why might? Only if your spouse has no income and your kids are younger than 23 or 25. In the private health insurance, every person has their own contract, which is not that bad if you save 400 euros by switching to the private health insurance sector and have to pay 100 euro for your child. Still 300 euros cheaper according to my basic math skills. 150 for you and 150 for your employer, because health insurance is always split 50-50 with your employer. Third comparison are 2 scenarios in which you might be insured free of premium in the public health insurance sector. Being on sickness or maternity leave. Why might be insured for free? It depends again if you are a forced member of the public health insurance or a voluntary member. And that's what seems to be forgotten again in the table of the Big Blue Health Insurance, which makes absolutely no sense because only voluntary members get sent to this table. Same answer for the private health insurance, and that's where this table is clearly wrong. The new product lines of the private health insurance sector will not charge any premiums while you're on maternity leave. Private health insurance adapts, that's what the public health insurance seems not to do. Fourth comparison goes a little more into detail of who is paying you money in case you get seriously sick. If you do in both the public and the private health insurance, your employer will continue paying your salary on a 100% level of up to 6 weeks. After that, public health insurance is comparing 2 numbers when determining your pay. 90% of your net salary with 70% of your gross salary. And they pay you what? The higher or the lower number? The lower, of course. And the maximum is €112.88 per day that you can get anyway in the public health insurance. No matter how much you earn, this €112 is the maximum payout per day. And in the private health insurance sector, the Big Blue Health Insurance says that there are no benefits included. Oh my god! Which is good, because you can choose yourself if you want sick leave money or not, and how much you want. The highest we could find was €700 a day in the private health insurance, which would be €21,000 a month. Of course you have to pay for it, but it's actually surprisingly cheap. The premium for sick leave money is about 1% of what you really want as a payout. If you want €100 a day, which would be about €3,000 a month, your premium of your private health insurance would increase by about €30 a month. 1% of the €3,000 payout you want. Fifth and second to last comparison is the stability of the health benefits. The Big Blue Health Insurance is saying that the coverage of all public health insurances is determined by our German social code, which is true. And because of that, there will be no bad surprises. Over the last decades, the social code dropped payments for certain medication, subsidies for glasses, less payment for dental replacements, less payment for rehab. Shall I continue? So you basically go to the doctor and want treatment, medication or new glasses, and the public health insurance will just deny paying for it, even though they did the year before. If that's not a bad surprise, I don't know what is. What the Big Blue Health Insurance gets right is that every private health insurance contract can have a different coverage, which is pretty cool, right? You can choose exactly the health benefits that you want without paying for unnecessary you don't really need. And these health benefits that you choose right from the start are guaranteed. Private health insurance is a private contract. One party cannot change it without the other party agreeing to it. What the Big Blue Health Insurance didn't really get right is that you have to pay in advance when you go to the doctor. I mean, it's true that you get the invoice from the doctor directly in the private health insurance. Doctor doesn't send it to your health insurance like he does in the public health insurance sector. But if you have to pay the doctor before your insurance pays you, you were just incredibly slow. As with any invoice in Germany, you have at least 15 to 30 days to pay the doctor invoice from the moment you receive it. If you send it to your private health insurance straight away, most of the time by making a photo with their mobile app, you will have the money from your private health insurance within a week. So if you're not lazy, you will have the money from your private health insurance company a long time before you have to pay the doctor. Last but not least, the Big Blue Health Insurance is critiquing that the private health insurance sector is doing a health check when you apply for a private health insurance. Most of the time, it's just a questionnaire asking about your medical history in the last 5 to 10 years. Of course they do that. I mean, we found out in difference number 1 that everyone in the private health insurance sector is paying according to his individual risk. How is an insurance company supposed to know the risk without asking for it? It's the same as with any other private insurance contract. Car insurance, private liability insurance, house insurance, disability income insurance. What's the point here? That the people with preconditions and a high risk cannot switch to the private health insurance, it's a pity. I understand. I really do. But if insurance companies would insure absolutely everybody and absolutely everything, the premiums would explode. I hope this video helped everybody who gets this mysterious code from the Big Blue Health Insurance once they have the freedom to choose if they want to be a member of the public or the private health insurance system. If you have this freedom as well and want to know what's best for you, feel free to reach out and we'll help you with the decision and finding the best health insurance company for your individual needs. Take care everybody and stay healthy so you don't even need health insurance.